So it was 4:16. I had combed my hair out and stuff. Well, picked it while I was in the shower and blow dried it a little. Because I haven't been able to do that for a while since whatever scalp thing and breaking out stuff I had going on, where when water would touch my head and my face would start burning, so would my scalp. And so, now I know what happened with that. My face was bleeding. But as soon as I went downstairs to finally get something to eat at 4:17 p.m., I started getting junk talked to me, so I came right back up here. That's the stuff I talk about. I shouldn't even have to be just now trying to eat at 4:17 for that exact reason. And then when I finally do go down there, exactly what I was trying to avoid still ends up happening. Anyway, since I came back up here, it reminded me of something I was supposed to do. So basically, I realized something. And I know I keep saying this, but I really need to stop talking about what I need to do and what I'm going to do and what I want to do and just start doing it. And if anybody ever wonder why I constantly talk about the stuff that I need to do and I know what I need to do to get out, but I still don't do it, it's because of the fear of getting put in the hospital. Because every single time I would try to get into freedom or somebody just wanted to lie on me, another pill and hospital thing would happen. And the pill thing is kind of already happening again because they're already wanting me to get back on some pills. And Ben prescribed them and gave them to me. But I definitely don't want another hospital thing to happen. And that's what I worry about. That's the reason why, even though I know I need a job to provide for myself, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm sitting around needing and can't even get, that I've been begging for years, like basic needs. And what I used to do when I was younger is when I would work and when somebody would give me money, which was never family members, always like, honestly, random people used to give me money a lot. And it still does happen sometimes. And so I would use that to go buy myself clothes and stuff. Because my mom hasn't bought me any clothes. Other than that pair of shoes she just got me. Like, it was some weeks ago. But anyway, so yeah. I know that I need a job. And they're bogarting me from getting one by doing that whole ID thing. First of all, what is too handicapped to get an ID? Because that's what she's been trying to say. There's no too handicapped to get an ID. An ID is something that you're supposed to have, not something that somebody's supposed to try to keep you from getting because they feel some type of way about you. And anybody can get an ID. There are 9-year-olds with IDs because an ID isn't for what she's trying to make it for. She's trying to act like an ID is some type of status code or something. Not to mention, I don't even need an ID to get a job anyway. The only thing I need is something that can prove my identity. And even some papers from a doctor or school could do that. But the thing is, the one paper from the doctor that I even do have is about the whole thing with the tonsils and stuff, which I need to make an appointment for me to go ahead and get the surgery. But I've been scared to do that because I know I'll get in trouble. But I really need to stop being scared to do stuff. Because the longer I sit around scared, the more I'll sit in this situation. And at least the counselors know about the stuff that's actually going on. They've seen the evidence videos and know that the diagnoses are fake. Because maybe if somebody did try to get me locked up for getting a job, then maybe they would be able to do something to help me not get locked up and say something. Probably not, to be honest. But I guess I could ask. I might as well ask. There might not really be anything that they can do, to be honest. But anyway, I'm not even to go into the whole thing. But like I was saying, I really, really need to stop being scared. That's what I realized. Because I keep talking about what I need to do and asking for advice on what I should do. But the thing is, when I do get advice on something that I should do that I haven't actually already tried, because I tried most of the stuff that people tell me to do, I'm too scared to do it because I know the whole hospital thing will happen. And even though it's impossible to even get out the door to go sit on the porch without people like Steven following me or to go on a walk because he'll start doing that whole drive around stalking thing, I might as well just run. Because I really need to start working again. And there's a whole bunch of stuff I need to do. And if I don't do it, then I'm not getting out. And I might as well face that fact. The more I sit around scared of getting locked up in the hospital, the worse things will be. I might as well just not even care about that. If anything, when I'm at school, try to get a job that's after school, and then I can just get on the bus from school. But the thing is, they've done so much bogarting me and isolating. I don't even really know the bus routes. Well, I don't know the bus routes like that, other than the one bus that takes me to the school, and then that's it. So I don't really know what bus goes where and stuff. And there are apps and I could call. But where I'm from, I kind of got the whiff of everything. But now it's gonna be a guessing game, and I don't want to spend hours getting lost and getting on the wrong bus and going to the wrong place just to get to a job interview and stuff like that. But really, when you're in an uncertain situation and you realize that there's nothing else you can really do, all you can do is start taking chances at that point. And that's what I'm realizing. And the thing is, then if they try to get me put in the hospital once they find out I'm working and for working and whatever else, then I can just run then too. Because I really just need to start taking chances at this point. Because sitting around waiting for a hero is honestly the stupidest thing I've done throughout this whole thing. And I just wish I would have been learned my lesson about sitting around waiting for a hero. I really wish that back when I still lived in Winston, and there was actually a couple of people who liked me, who I could have went and stayed with. I wish I would have took my chances then. Because it's like, back in Winston, I really had places I could go. People whose house I could have stayed at for a certain amount of time. Running away isn't even illegal there, but of course you still get locked up for it regardless. So whether it's illegal, I shouldn't even brought that up. Because actually, whether it's illegal or not, people still get locked up in juvie and mental hospitals for running away from abusive homes every single day. So I don't even know why I even brought it being illegal up. Apparently it's legal regardless of whether it's illegal or not. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I knew the bus routes. I knew places that I could have stayed at, places to hide at. I don't really know anything around here. And plus, there's a whole bunch of traffic here. There's a whole bunch of intersections. You have to get on the highway to go everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but a lot of places. It's just a whole bunch of uncertainty. And it's harder here than it is there. Then there's a camera right behind the house. Not our camera, but the city's camera. So it's like, even if I did go somewhere, they'll be able to see most of the places I go to because there's a camera right there. It's just like so much hard stuff that makes it harder than it would have been where I'm from. Not that there aren't cameras everywhere, but it's like right behind the house. It's in the backyard. That's what makes it worse. I could see if it was like down the street, but right in the backyard. And I forgot, now they have those divider things up. I forgot about that part because the city's been trying to make a new street. Well, not make a new street, make the street bigger. And so now there's a divider in the backyard, and I can't even climb over that, or at least I don't think you're supposed to, but I don't really want to try. And then there's the traffic thing, because like I said, where I'm from, a lot of people didn't have a car. So there isn't traffic in Winston like there is here. And then there's no woods, really. And there's no nearby parks. It's like you can't even go in the woods here because it's always going to be somebody's backyard because there's so many houses everywhere. I'm not even used to this type of stuff. Because I realized that living in this type of area and then trying to do what I'm trying to do is a real big disadvantage. But yeah, so I realized I need to start getting my ideas together. Actually, let me get back over it so I can get something. Oops. This is the journal that my sister's boyfriend had found behind the couch some months ago, because since I didn't have a book bag, and still don't, this couldn't fit in the bag I was trying to bring, and neither could my school laptop charger, so that's when I put it behind the pillow, hoping that nobody would look back there. And so ever since then, Chocolate's had my laptop charger. She doesn't even have a Chromebook. That's the funny thing about it. And honestly, you can't even say it's an accident at this point, because if I continuously ask for my stuff back, and I know you have it because he was the one who switched the phone around and had also put my notebook on her desk, and he actually went through it and thought it was Amaya's. And luckily he didn't say anything about it to anybody, and then he told me not to go back there because he said I was probably trying to steal something. I'm trying to get my own stuff. I constantly hate how the people who were taking my stuff are always the ones accusing me of stealing. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. This is the journal where I wrote down the things that I tried. So this was during the summer, like when I first came down here and the whole shoe selling thing. I don't know if I actually ever talked about this in detail, but after the whole thing happened where I filled out that job application, and then 4 hours, I think it was like 4 hours before I was supposed to go to the job interview, they said they couldn't take me. First of all, I was going to get on the bus and go to work every day like I used to do. I don't need somebody to take me anywhere. They only act like they had to take me because they knew that they weren't going to. So basically they made it seem like I can't just get on the bus like I'm used to doing. And so they were like, well, you can only go if I take you, but I'm not going to take you, so you can't get a job. That's basically what it was. And they waited till 4 hours or less. I think it was actually way less than that before I was supposed to go to start talking about some you're too mean, rude, emotionally abusive, and all that to get a job. Well, if that's the case, then why'd you even let me fill out the application? And they really did all that because they had overheard me talking about getting emancipated anyway. Which they're the ones who first brought it up, because I heard Chocolate talking about somebody she knew. And so now, but for the past couple of months, they've been talking about how I'm going to have to stay here till after 18, because she told that lie. And she was like, there are no jobs that are going to hire you at 18 where you're going to be able to make enough money. No, the actual truth is, there are no jobs that will hire me at this age where I'll be able to make enough money unless I'm doing entrepreneurship, or unless I'm doing, what's that thing called, a freelance job, like an online job. Other than that, I'm not going to be able to make the amount of money I really need to make. Well, at least not making, wait a minute. At least not working one job. Which, that's not something I like to do anyway. I like to work more than one job. And so, then she was like, everybody I know that got emancipated ended up homeless and on drugs. And then she was like, you're going to become a crackhead prostitute. Not because of getting emancipated. Because when she said I was going to become a crackhead prostitute, she was just saying that in general. That was before I had even mentioned the emancipation thing. So she was just saying that just to say that. And so then that whole thing happened with Steven, where my mom did the thing where she pretends that she has to get me up in the morning so Chocolate can say, you should be able to get yourself up, which I already do. And a lot of times I'm not even asleep, plus I have a whole bunch of alarms anyway. And alarms actually make me mad because of the fact that I'm already up. But yeah, so she did that thing where she pretends to get me up, and then she almost made me miss the bus. I think that was the same day she almost made me miss the bus, because that happened a whole bunch of times anyway. Then once I did get out there, after they had did that thing where they make me anxious and paranoid, basically they lied to me and had me thinking the bus already came, even though it was nowhere near time for the bus to come. They do that all the time. And then I ended up getting anxious and actually do end up missing the bus, or just feeling worried about it. So since I didn't see anybody at my bus stop, because for one of the kids got expelled, and I'm the first one that even gets to the bus stop every single day. I'm usually, majority of the time, I'm the first one out there. There's been times where I was the only one out there and everybody else ended up missing the bus. But that was because it comes early sometimes, which isn't even right. But anyway, I didn't see anybody. So I went to the other bus stop to see if they were out there because they go out there before we do. And all the trees had been cut down. So I could see from where I was at to over there, but I couldn't tell if that was actually them or not. So I know I was acting stupid like that's not them. So I went down there, and then that's when Steven had called me. He cursed me out. He started talking about how he had been driving around stalking me and looking for me to try to curse me out at the bus stop. So I had a video of that whole thing. And so when I got in the car, that's when he had started that whole talk where he was like, whether you know it or not, and whether the counselors have admitted it to you or not, you're actually going to have to live with your mom for the rest of your life because you're not even fit and because the handicapness. First of all, I'm not handicapped. I hate how, obviously, just so much craziness to even try to act like somebody has diagnosis that they don't even have anyway. But I hate how they try to make it seem like she's been guiding me through life, and without her, I won't make it. First of all, I didn't even live with her for most of my life. How has she been guiding me through life when I haven't even lived with her most of my life? I lived with my dad most of my life anyway, so how was she guiding me when she wasn't even around? That just sounds stupid. That's exactly why. In the beginning of the whole false diagnosis thing, she tried to make it seem like I was lying about ever living with my dad. And so when I would go to like that alternative school, when I'd be in the hospital, and I would bring up the fact that I live with my dad, they would just laugh it off and start talking junk and be like, well, your mom says that's not true. And so she had them thinking that me and my dad were on some type of happy-go-lucky team where we were just lying on her, and he was trying to avoid the fact that I had whatever problem she was trying to say I had, when if anything, they're on the same team, because I don't have a teammate. I've been the one fighting for myself throughout this whole thing for one, so I don't know why somebody's trying to act like I have somebody on my team in the first place, because last time I checked, I was always the one trying to stand up for myself and never had anybody, and even the people who did witness the crazy stuff that went on a daily basis, they never did anything to help. That's still funny though. They said it was because, like, this last time when I was with my dad again for those 9 months, those girls who were around would say that they don't want to get involved and they're worried about going to jail. You do know sitting around witnessing it will get you in jail, not reporting it, right? You sound stupid. So you rather sit around him every day and go places with him every day and witness stuff that goes on, but not report it because you're scared to go to jail. That doesn't even sound right. That's backwards. You don't go to jail for reporting. You go to jail for sitting around adding to the situation. Or just, I don't even think you can go to jail for being a witness. I heard in Germany you can, but definitely not here. Because a whole bunch of people witness a whole bunch of stuff and don't go to jail. I don't know what that sound is, but anyway. They're making a lot of noise and it threw me off. But, yeah, so that was just stupid. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, they're trying to act like I'm going to have to just stay here, even way past 18. And from what I see on the subreddit, well, not on the subreddit, not even just on Raised by Narcissists, on other ones too. A lot of people get hoovered and guilt-tripped and gaslighted into staying until way after 18. Like, there are people still trying to get out at age 20 and 30 because their parents made sure they couldn't be financially independent, won't let them get a job. There's one person whose parents have him stuck. They live in, like, the country. He's stuck in 20-something, and they won't even let him get a job or anything. And he's trying to get help. First of all, I'm not about to sit here and get hoovered in this situation until I'm in my 50s and stuff. No, definitely not. Anyway, I tried to sell the shoes. I don't think I ever made a video about what the shoes looked like, but I had to delete those pictures off my email, like, a few days ago because I re-downloaded Google Photos. So I no longer have pictures of them, but as you know, I forgot to write down the videos I'm going to need to put in the description. So, as you may know, they had kept trying to steal a little bit of money I was able to save up every single day. There would be threats passed around about it, and I ended up having to take it to school, but some kids see me, and even though they pull out money every single day, they still stole my money anyway. And they had went and bought some candy, but I was so zoned out, I was watching them do it. And no, I wasn't scared to fight anybody. I mean, I should be, because the moment I do, my mom's gonna be like, oh, well, that's just her psychos, that's just her whatever. She already told them I'm schizophrenic, even though I'm not. So, once I fight them and they say they didn't do it, then, of course, she's gonna join in and be like, well, I'm sorry that happened. She just has hope. That's why I didn't even fight them once I did snap out of the little mouth out the daydreaming thing I had going on while watching. because I don't have time for that. And that's sad anyway, when you don't ever have anybody on your side. So you always have to just try to avoid stuff. Even if it's something that you should do, you still have to avoid doing it because you know that you have nobody on your side. And then she's going to be ganging up on the kid's side who stole my money, talking about some, no, I don't believe that actually, I don't have time for that. That'd probably make them feel some type of way though. They'll be like, well dang, even her mom lied with us. That's embarrassing too. So that's why I didn't even fight them over my money. I can't even find my notepad. But yeah, so I don't have time for that. And so I didn't get it back, and then they had stolen and bought some stuff. And that was only like 90 something, 80 something. It was either 89 or 98. It was one of those. I can't remember which one. Hold on. Okay, so I was writing it down on this piece of paper. So I only got a little bit of money from it because what happened was, since I'm halfway being able to go outside, and one of the times I went to the church, Stephen popped up right behind me. Luckily, I was getting ready to leave anyway, and I was talking to him about something, and then I turned around, and then there's Stephen. He doesn't even understand how weird that looks. Every time he does it, everybody's looking at him crazy. And like when he did that, those, like the times he followed me to the bus stop and stuff, or that whole thing he did at the bus stop, one of the boys was laughing because he doesn't even like me anyway. He did look kind of scared, but he was also laughing. And then this other dude also looked scared. That's the thing. I don't even want to know, because then I'm going to go into a whole other subject. And this is already 21 minutes, I think. So I need to hurry up. Okay, so I kept trying to get across the street to get the money for months, because I had gave them the shoes and asked them if they could get somebody to buy, well, they could find somebody who wanted to buy them. And I was selling them for way less than they even cost, like $15 and $20. I think I basically just said either one of those, even though they cost way more than that anyway. One of them cost almost $70, but I knew that nobody's about to buy that for that price since they were used, and I had used to be able to fit them, but they're too big now because I could only fit them while I had the metabolic syndrome. And so I kept going back, well, whenever I was able to try to get the money, and then nobody would be there because it usually wasn't even a Sunday when I was able to get over there. So I recently just said I need to stop worrying about that money after that last time I went, because I'm obviously not about to be able to get it. And I'm still trying to figure out, so do they still have some of the shoes or what? Because I still wonder what happened to the money. If they bought, that's the stuff I talk about. But anyway, I tried signing up for Squad Help, where you can name businesses and give slogans and stuff, which is something I could do. I mean, anybody can sign up, but before I completely signed up, I had read the user agreements and stuff, which is what I have to do to make sure I don't have to be 18, because I don't want to sign up for something and then they ask for ID and I already signed up, or I ended up paying or something like that. I also tried Redbubble, which didn't end up working at all. I was going to try to do Fiverr, and I actually did want to do that, but I don't really have anything I could sell on there, plus I don't have a laptop. And when I finally did get some money from my dad and grandma to buy a laptop, and I bought it recently, a few days ago, I ended up breaking it because my mom made me mad after she had came in there and broke my headphones from school and stuff, breaking school property. And the truth about it is that wasn't even the right type of laptop I needed. It didn't even really work that well anyway. And she was going to end up breaking that, just like with the whole phone thing. And then what happened to my tablet, because she had already been said that, and she's constantly taking, there's no point in even me trying to do an online job right now, because the thing is, how am I gonna do an online job where I have to give people a service or something and make them some type of graphic design thing, but then before I can even get it sent to them, after they already paid, I get my laptop broken or taken, and then I can't even finish doing what I was supposed to do, and then I get marked as some type of fraud or something, and they think that I played them. that's exactly what will end up happening, because that's what was happening when I was trying to do stuff. And I was trying to get stuff set up. I would end up getting my stuff taken. That's not about them. I don't even want to try to do that, because I don't want somebody to give me money, and then I'm taking people's money on accident, and they think that they're about to get something. Although, they might not pay till after, but still. That's just not about the workout while I'm still here. I might as well admit that to myself. Because it's really not. I wish I could have tried Fiverr though, but I still don't even really have anything that's worth buying anyway. Since I don't even have the type of stuff I need to do what I would really like to do, because I like animation and stuff, but I don't even have the laptop or anything. So, with the whole Redbubble thing, I tried making digital artwork. Started selling it as prints, which I also did on Redbubble, but nobody bought anything. Selling books. I didn't even get to finish writing the books, because I really am not that good at writing books. Well, I don't know how to use punctuations and stuff, but as far as coming up with an idea for a book, I used to do that all the time when I was younger, but I'm not good with punctuation, so that's why it's not something that would really be worth publishing as far as like how good the literature is, but the idea will always be good, because I have plenty of good book ideas, but I don't really have the stuff I need for that. So it's like obviously, there's just a whole bunch of potential blocking and career blocking and stuff going on. So that's why staying here will never ever get me anywhere, obviously, if I'm already having struggles even staying alive on a daily basis, because it's horrible on mental health. So that's why I'm like, I need to hurry up and get out, because I don't even know how much longer I can take the stuff that goes on every day anyway. So I forgot I'm supposed to be showing it. So I made sure I wrote down, always check for ID. Make sure they check for ID, or see if they check or not, if that makes it make sense more. Because if they do, I'm not going to be able to do it. Because I don't have ID and I'm not 18, because that's what they're checking for. And that's the bad thing. Now you have to try to fake age anyway, because that's getting tiresome, because most stuff these days really make sure you're the age you say you are, and that you're who you say you are. And that's what makes it bad, because this whole faking age thing is really getting out of control, or at least trying to. And so I was going to practice coding. Well, actually, that's not even on this page, but that's what I was going to do. And I had tried some coding games and stuff, but of course, I don't have a laptop anymore. It wasn't the right type of laptop I needed for what I was trying to do anyway. So I had made a couple of... This isn't even visible. I made a couple of different designs and stuff. But you really need a laptop for Redbubble anyway, because you have to go to the desktop version even make anything. And it just wasn't working out. I still have the account though, but I obviously don't have anything worth buying. I wish it would have worked out, because that would have been the easiest money source right there. Because dropshipping is super easy. You don't have to make it yourself. They have it at their warehouse and then they send it out for you. The only thing is the amount of money that they take from you, that you make. I forgot what it's called, but that's how they make their money. So I was gonna try these, but that's not about the... I wish I could try, but knocking on people's doors or walking up to people, well, not knocking on people's doors, because I don't really want to do that anyway, because then that'll make it worse than it has to be. Asking to walk people's dogs whenever I see them, it's like, people already talk about how desperate I obviously am on a daily basis anyway. I think I forgot to mention that, like, constantly trying to do something to make money. People have said stuff about that plenty of times. Not even just while being down here, but even before I moved down here. People always like, well, why do you want a job so bad? I've never met a kid, I don't even know too many adults that want a job and stuff like that. So it was always a red flag. but it definitely is here. Because I think it made more sense when I used to live in the hood than it does now. And that's all I have, I guess. So, yeah. I just need to start doing what I know I need to do instead of talking about it. I just need to overcome the fear. Because that's really like the whole thing. The hospital threats are the main fear tactic. Because I'm constantly getting hospital threats and doctor threats and pill threats. And the pill thing is, they're already trying to get that to happen again. It's like I said, some already got prescribed again and I already have them. Because I already have a video about that. Well, it's not even on this channel actually. And it's one of the same ones I was putting me in comas for 3 days and stuff just last year. But not just last year, also December 2020. That one took me for like a couple of weeks though, but still. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. Because every single time I try to do something to work towards getting out, like working and saving up money, I start getting hospital threats. And I get hospital threats regardless though. Even from made up stuff, like with the whole sleeping with the dog thing that they used to say. They'd be like, and I'm gonna let and my mom would be like, I'm gonna let the doctors know that you were sleeping with the dog and stuff like that. I hate the talking troubles I had from the pills. Dang, I can't talk. But I did better than I usually do though. That's the one thing I hate about that. Like, that messed me all up right there. I usually talk worse than this though. So I'm actually happy that it went better than it did a lot of other times. But I'm definitely not about to edit anything out because it's too long for me to even do that. Because I don't have enough space for that. But yeah, it gave me all types of motor problems and stuff. So that's why a lot of times while I'm talking I sound like Joe Biden.